Sweet. Cool. So, yeah, start whenever you want, but we're looking for all 4 stages. Fingers in front, rocking forward, rocking back, to the left, to the right, circle to the right, circle to the left. And you're just going to reset, face the fingers out, forward, back, side, side, circle, and then circle, fingers in the way. Stay again. Find the sticky bit in one of them. Stay
Nope.
a little bit longer.
No.
Once you've done your last one, we're going to have the fingers facing towards us. We're going to bring our knees in line with our wrists pretty much, and we're going to lean back as far as we can. Feel the stretch in the wrist, up the forearm. And slowly relax. Cool. Now you're going to place the backs of your hands on the floor, and we're going to press those into the ground. And slowly relax. Cool. Beautiful. So what we're going to do, same as last time, interlink those fingers together. Squeeze the elbows together, and you're going to go 10 seconds rotating in one direction, and then 10 seconds back the other way. I'll just get the clock. Cool. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds one way. Elbows together, and we're going to come back the other way. 2, 1, and reverse. And we're going to go back the other direction in 2, 1, swap. And then back again. Cool. And from here, we're going into keeping those elbows as square as we can. And we're doing the waves for 10 seconds. Try and keep the elbows at the same height as much as you possibly can. And now we're going to go back the other direction, which gets a bit confusing. And there we go. Plays out with your brain. And rest. Cool. Shake them off. Sweet. So opening up our lats in the front of our shoulders again. We're going to go for that prayer stretch. So as we do single arm, we're looking to keep those fingers pointing to the ceiling the whole time. We're trying to avoid the arm internally rotating. So as I set myself up, I'm using the other arm to brace that arm up at nice and high. And I'm going to let my chest sink through at the same time as squeezing my rib cage down. And you'll feel that stretch. Front, maybe the back of your shoulder, down your lat. Now again, anything we do today, I want to see that turtle position. So if this is neutral, I want to see you squeezing the rib cage down, squeezing as tight as we can, and avoid being in this hyperextended position here. Okay, so even in the stretch, I want you bracing as tight as you possibly can. And you're going to hold for 20 seconds on each arm, twice through on each arm with a little 10-second transition window. So we'll start on that first one in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good, guys. Sink the chest through. Squeeze the abs as tight as you can. That arm's there just to keep the arm as vertical as we possibly can get it. Play about with it. We're looking for that slight external rotation in the shoulder. And rest in 2, 1, and breathe. So we've got 10 seconds to swap over. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good, guys. Remember to breathe, abs in as tight as possible. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. And we're going to go back to that first arm. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good team. The attack of the cat. And rest there, guys. And we'll swap back over to that second one. Last time on this arm. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good team. Abs as tight as you possibly can. Sink that chest down. We shouldn't see a big arch in the back. If anything, we want to see a little round. Think bad deadlift position. Squeeze the rib cage down as much as we possibly can. 2, 1, and rest. Cool. Last one we're going to do before we move on is both of them together. So all I'm going to do is place my hand, just on the opposite elbow. And all I'm going to do is put both of those on that bench and then sink myself down. Now, again, I'm avoiding being in this position here. Okay, yes, I'm pressing down, but I want to see this. So squeeze the abs as tight as we possibly can. At the same time as trying to press those armpits down or arms back, whatever way you want to think about it. And we're just going to hold that once for 30 seconds, okay? And if you guys want to set up, we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Breathe. And as we settle into it, try and sink a little lower, but don't lose tension in the core. Tight as we possibly can. I think that Ninja Turtle. Good, guys. 15 seconds in. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Cool. Awesome, team. Beautiful. So as always, we're going to spend most of our time on the positioning. Okay, so we all know the turtle shape, and we all know that turbo turtle we introduced last week. So we're going to do the same again because it destroyed most of you. Now, if we don't know what that is, that's fine. We'll run through it. We'll run through the first bit where you don't really need anything, but same as last week, if you have a foam roller or a stack of cushions, something like that, just something to get your legs up off of the ground by 6 inches or something like that. I don't know. You don't need that right now. If you want to go grab it, you can. But what we're going to work on is just the turtle shape on its own, okay? And we're going to go 20 seconds in the position with 10 seconds off. Now I've lost my pen, so I'll try my best to keep you right. So like the position, the time in the positions is increased every week now, okay? Ideally, our mobility is improving in those positions, okay, as well as our flexibility and the strength in those positions, okay? They're probably still going to suck because you're trying to keep as much tension through that position as you possibly can. So the pain you feel is probably not going to get any less, but the positions look way better, right? So again, as always, in that position, what we're looking for, the whole time with my abs, we're wanting to avoid this position here. We're trying to squeeze as tight as we possibly can the whole time. With my arm, I'm hiding my ears by pressing up and away the whole time, as well as in this case, I'm going to be pressing down into the floor. Okay, so 2 main things I want you to focus on is where the position that your body's in. So we're squeezing our abs as tight as we possibly can, as well as hiding those ears by pressing away. With that, we know that we're looking to squeeze our bum the whole time, as well as drive the armpits into the floor as much as we possibly can. In trying to do that, that's going to open up that shoulder position, that overhead position, much more than it would if we were just relaxing. So, as always, bum squeeze as tight as we possibly can. What I'm going to do is press up and away. Now, in the hold position, I'm going to pick my chest up off the floor as high as I can, still trying to get my armpit to the floor. I'm going to squeeze. I'm going to hold here for that 20 seconds. Okay, so we're going to go 20 seconds in the position, 20 seconds out of the position. Now, you don't need the foam roller or anything just yet. That's next. So kick that to the side. And we're just going to go on the floor without first. Okay, 20 seconds in, 20 seconds off. Now we're going to do that 5 times. Okay, 5 times. Right, ready. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 20 seconds in. Let's get it. Squeeze his abs as tight as we possibly can. Pick that chest up off the floor. Remember, we're trying to hide those ears by pressing the shoulders, actively pressing away. Same time as we're trying to drive the armpit into the floor. It's that kind of battle you're going to have with your chest want to go the wrong way, but we're trying to bring that down off of the floor at the same time as the armpit's down. And rest there, guys. Beautiful. Ooh, that's number 1. Nice. Cool, team. We're going again in 5 seconds. Ooh, buddy. 2, 1, let's go. Remember to breathe. There we go. Strong, guys. Pick that chest up the floor as high as we can. Squeeze the bum. Don't relax in the lower half. Good, team. 10 seconds. Abs tight. Keep pressing away. Keep pressing away. Shoulders down. 2, 1. Rest. Nice. Good, guys. So this next interval, I want your mind focused on trying to get those armpits as close to the floor as we can, or the head through the window as much as we can, whatever way you want to think about it. At the same time as squeezing our abs, squeezing our bum. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. There we go, team. Good. Open up those shoulders as much as we can. Keep breathing. 10 seconds. Bum squeezed. Ninja Turtles. In 3, 2, 1. Rest. Beautiful.
I wouldn't call it breathing very much.
What's that?
I wouldn't say we're breathing very much. Like,
trying not to pass out. 10 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good, Jan. Solid, Greg. Good, Jimbo. Nice, Marie. Good, Tony. Squeeze as tight as we can. Pick that chest up as high as we can. Same time as maintaining tension through our whole core as possible. Press down into that floor. Real aggressive. 3, 2, 1. Rest. One more.
It's really tough, isn't it?
Yep.
I know, not that I didn't believe you, obviously.
In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's keep as much tension as we possibly can. Press down, armpits into the floor. Still pressing forward or up, hiding those ears with the shoulders. Bum squeeze the whole time. Good, guys. Hold. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Nice, guys. Good. Okay. So we're going to make that a little bit more intense now. Okay. So if we have the foam roller, we have the foam roller or a stack of plates. Okay. So again, this is going to transfer over for our handstand shaping, as is what we're mainly focusing on just now. But it's also going to help us with your kipping positions on the rig. Okay, that arch position at the back, or your Superman, or whatever way you've been taught it. But we're mainly focusing on your handstand. So again, same as last week, we're just going to pop this on our quads. Okay. So as I lie on top of it, halfway up my quad. And then we're going to focus on the same position. So I squeeze my bum as tight as I can and pressing away. But now as I lift my chest off the floor, by squeezing my abs and bringing the rib cage down, there's much more tension that's going to pass through our upper body. Okay? So the idea here is that as we lift the chest, we're still trying to drive those armpits down into the floor. Now that's going to be limited by our mobility and our flexibility right now. But that's not going to mask you from the tension and the strength work that we're still going to be working on, okay? The more we work through these positions, the closer and closer those armpits will get to the floor, while maintaining all the tension by squeezing our abs and picking that chest up off of the floor as hard as we possibly can, okay? So last week we did this for 10 seconds. This week you're doing it for 15, okay? 15. So 15 seconds in the position, 15 seconds rest. And you're going to do that for 3 rounds. You're going to rest a minute, and you're going to do it twice through. Yuri.
We're going already?
No, you're right. Oh. James is just sleeping. Right. Cool, guys. And we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Stick with this one. It's going to be a lot more intense. Just breathe. Focus on your positioning. So we're trying to get the armpits in as close to the floor as we can. Still squeezing the bum and pick that chest up. Bring the rib cage down. Keep holding, guys. Remember to breathe. And rest. Nice. Woo.
Oh.
A lot of unhappy faces. We're going again in 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Straight back in. Arms up overhead. Press them away as well as pressing them into the floor. Abs as tight as possible. We got it. Try and keep as much tension from the fingertips to the toes as you possibly can. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Ooh, buddy. Good, guys. 10 seconds. We go again. 5, and 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Work hard, guys. Remember to breathe. Squeeze the bum as tight as we can. Keep pressing, keep pressing. Try and get those armpits down into the floor as close as possible. 2, 1, rest. Nice, nice. Woo. We got a minute off. A minute off. If you have any questions, ask. How are we feeling? Better than last week? Worse than last week? Big difference between the
Last
normal turtle and then this one, right?
Yeah, the ones without the roller were feeling all right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they're all so all the positioning is looking real good. So I've noticed, like, maybe seeing you in class and stuff, when we get into the piked positions that we're all in, we're all guilty of it, kind of being in that extended position. We're not really active with our shoulders, but every class we've done here, working on this stuff, as soon as you all pop up into the pike, before I even say anything, you're all in those positions that I need you to be in. So the idea there is that all transfers over into the more dynamic stuff that we get into when this class progresses, for however long we're going to be here, or when we're back in the gym, right? So we're back in again in 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Press up and away as well as down. Pick that chest off of the floor. We're looking for that turtle back, so that slight round in the back, because you're bringing that rib cage down as tight as possible. 2, 1, rest. Nice. Good, guys. 10 seconds. We go again. Y'all get like a quad massage as well for free. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Trying to create as much tension as possible. You guys keep breathing. Bum squeeze, don't forget that. And rest. Ooh, one more. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good, guys. Bum squeezed. Press down, press down, press down. Abs tight. And rest. Beautiful. Cool. Right. Ditch the foam roller to the side. You're going to go back the way this time to your normal turtle position on the floor. Now, all we're going to do is you're just going to hold that original one for 30 seconds. One set, 30 seconds. Now, it's hopefully going to feel much easier, okay? Because we're not as high off of the floor. So 30 seconds just in that original one without the foam roller. We're looking to get those armpits in as close to the floor as we can at the same time as pressing up and away, hiding those ears, and then squeezing that rib cage down as tight as we possibly can. Okay, so a 30-second hold without the roller. And we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. There we go. Beautiful. Awesome, team. Real strong, Anne-Marie. Good. Good, Tony. Remember, everyone, squeeze your bum as tight as you can. Remember, breathe. Good, Jen. Nice, Jimbo. You got 10 seconds left, guys. Fight it the whole way. You got it. Good, guys. 5 seconds. You're almost there. Keep with it. And rest. Beautiful. Woo. Same, better, worse? What do we think?
Better.
Yeah, there we go. Positions are all much better as well. Good, 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 good. Okay. Now you're going to go upside down. So, just to play about with it to start off with, we're going to do those pike, the pike holds. Okay. So you have a few options here. You can do your pike hold on your knees as always, or on the toes as always. You can go one leg up in the air for the first interval and then swap over with the other leg up in the air. But what we're going to try and implement today is shifting the weight from one arm to the other arm. Okay, so similar to what we would do in, say, a handstand walk, right? And the only way we can handstand walk is if we can controlled take the weight on one arm for a second and then shift it over onto the other arm to give yourself enough time to put one hand in front of the other, right? Similar to what your hip does when you walk. Again, when we flip ourselves upside down, your main focus of strength and stability and movement then turns in on the shoulder. So we're trying to mimic the same as the hip with our shoulder. You might hear me saying a bunch of times that you've got shoulders as strong as hips. That's the idea that we're going for, right? Or boulder shoulders is sometimes said. So the options that we can roll through, regardless of what one we're using, whether it's knees, whether it's toes, leg up, leg down, moving the hands, not moving the hands, same idea is we still press away the whole time. We're squeezing that rib cage in and down, and trying to keep as much tension as possible. So if we say go on our knees, the idea is I get myself hips as high as possible, pressing into the floor, rib cage down, and I'm trying to get those armpits. So we would normally say down in your turtle position, but in this case, I'm trying to press them forward or towards my legs. And then that's where I bring my head through the window, and I'm in this position here. If I'm up on my tiptoes, that position then looks like this. Again, I'm squeezing my abs down as tight as possible, pressing into the floor. And then if I've got the leg in the air, we are here. All the positions remain the same. But the idea with shifting the weight left and right is that I can do it controlled enough. So if I just go from this position here, that I can shift to the left. I could be able to take my hand off of the floor for a second, shift to the right, take my hand off the floor for a second. Now the idea is I'm in control the whole time. I'm not staying. So if I show you in a plank, now if I'm here and I take my hand off of the floor without moving left or right, I'm just going to fall back down to that side, right? So if that's clear to see, if I take my hand off, I'm eventually going to fall down. The idea to stabilize that is I shift my weight to one side, and now I can take my hand off the floor and pretty much stay here for as long as the strength and that supporting arm will allow. So we're making sure we're shifting the body weight left and right. Okay, it's not a game of take your hand off the floor, fall and catch yourself again. It's hand off the floor. I'm in control here, hand back down again. Okay, so you can play about with those, whether you want to play start on your knees. Cool, that felt fine. I'm gonna pop up onto my tiptoes. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna put my leg in the air or play about with it. So as we roll through this, you're gonna hold for 30 seconds each time. 30 seconds in the position, 30 seconds out. Don't worry too much about rep ranges of left and right or anything like that. You're just trying to shift left and right, controlled for those 30 seconds. Okay, now if the shifting left and right is kind of throwing your positions off, stop, hold again, make sure you fix things. Okay, cool, then we can try and move again, okay? Always the emphasis is on the positions that we're in, not the crazy movements that we're trying to do. Okay, we're trying to keep that solid foundation that we've all just done on the floor and apply that upside down and apply that with some movement. Okay, so for the first few rounds, if you want to just practice holding still, that's cool before we add some movement into it, right? Cool. So 30 seconds into the position, 30 seconds out, 4 times. Then we're going to rest a minute. Then we're going to repeat again. Okay. Beautiful. So if you guys want to get set up, and you can progress through those options as we go. Again, you can start on the knees. You can then pop up onto the toes and so on and so on. Cool, guys. And we'll go on your first one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So the whole time, regardless if you're moving or not, the rib cage is squeezed in and down. We're pressing through the floor the whole time, opening up those shoulders as much as possible. Now, if we want to shift left and right, that's cool. You can do it without even taking your hands off the floor. If you want to increase it a little bit, you can maybe tap your shoulder, the opposite shoulder with the hand if you feel in control. 2, 1, and rest. Woo.
How wide should our hands be?
So ideally, same as any handstand that we're looking for. If you look at like a gymnast, their hands, it's like wrist, shoulder, hip, and then heel. But depending on your mobility, you might need to come out a little bit. That's fine. But we're just not looking for crazy wide, okay? Either in line or just above the shoulders or just on the outside. See if that helps. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. You can play about with it. You might find if you come too wide, it affects your positioning. If you come too close, it affects your position.
Is I position better with my knees or my feet?
So both look good. Look, one will feel more intense than the other one. So good there. Let's pop up onto your... Okay, good. And we're going to rest in 2, 1, and rest there. So when you popped up onto your toes there, a few of you are guilty of this. What we want to try and avoid is when you pop up on your toes, you don't shift your weight forward, so your shoulder then goes in front of your wrist. The whole time we're still looking for, like, regardless if I'm in line as in straight above or slightly out, I want to be exaggerated here, head through the window, not back this way, so my shoulder ends up in front of my wrist. Yeah. And we're going to go again in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'll let you know how that feels when you pop upside down. There you go. That's much better, Anne-Marie. Do you feel the difference in that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Good, Sonny. Good. There you go. Much better as well. Nice. Nice, Jill. Strong, Greg. Awesome, Jen.
Can't hold it for as long, though.
And rest there, guys. Yeah, these ones get harder. Way harder. We'll go one more, I think. Is that the fourth one or the third one? Third one? Go one more. Go one more. 14. 10 seconds. I'm going again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We get a minute rest off of this one, so let's try and hold the whole way. If anything, there we go. Tuck that chin in slightly. We want that neutral neck. We don't want crazy arch. Good, guys. 10 seconds. Remember to breathe. Stay as tight as we possibly can. Hiding those ears. Press away through the floor as aggressively as possible. And rest. Beautiful. So we got a minute off. And then we're going to go again. Nice.
It's funny when you say and breathe. Like, oh, yeah.
No, I'm missing something. Good, guys. So yeah, with our shoulders, it happens quite a lot as well. You'll see With some of us that do handstand walks in the gym, if you have a lot of handstand walks or handstand holds for that matter, if you come off and your lower back's real tight, it's probably because you've shifted yourself from this position here, where my wrist is over my shoulder and then my shoulder's over my hip, etc. Now, if I come, you should probably do it with barbells as well. If you ever see someone catch a barbell and the bar is out here, okay, instantly that shift, that lever has got way longer, and now my body has to adjust to counterbalance myself, and that's where we find ourselves in this position here with a big extension in the back, and instantly your lower back takes all of the load, right? Now, you might be strong enough to catch the bar in that position for that split second, or the handstand hold or the handstand walk or whatever it may be. But over time, we're experiencing those shear forces on your spine, right? Which our bodies can't really buffer that very well. Your body can buffer compression forces and tensile and all this sort of stuff real well. Shear forces on your spine, not so much. So that's why you'll see folk when they try and catch the barbells, the big crazy hyperextended backs and things, and they come away and they're in pieces the next day. And mainly just down to the shoulders not opening, okay? Whether it be flexibility or just unsure of the positions that you should be in, right? Or if the weight's too heavy. So we're going to go again in 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. There we go. So we're trying to open up that shoulder as much as we can, or head through the window, whatever way you guys have been taught. Nice. 10 seconds. Keeping as much tension as we possibly can. Slight shifts of weight left and right if we want to. We can just hold if we need to. 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. How are we feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Shoulders killing you.
Stunning.
Good. Good. As fatigue starts to kick in, that's where we need to squeeze those abs tight as we possibly can to avoid falling into that extended back position and then our lower back taking over. In 3, 2, 1.
Yes, you may. Warren, can you go up and get dressed, please?
Strong, guys, pressing through the floor the whole time. Awesome, team. Tuck that chin in slightly. Good effort, guys. 10 seconds. Keep holding. Remember to breathe. Nice, Jen. And rest there, guys.
Even on my knees, just try to lift my hands a little bit. It's like a massive ab burner as well. Like you can feel it all the way through my abs.
Yeah, of course. Because as soon as you have to shift your weight, obviously your body has to fight and shift what's tight and where's tense to balance that out. So that's what we're looking for. And then the longer, eventually we start holding that for longer and longer and longer each time on one arm. And we're going to go again in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good, guys. Ten seconds, guys. Rib cage tucked in the whole time. We're looking for that slight round in the upper back, not the extension. There we go. 2, 1, and rest. One more to go, team. Ooh, buddy. Strong work, guys. Good. Last one for this piece. 10 seconds. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Last one, guys. Let's go. As much tension as you can through the abs. There we go. Good, Sonny. Strong. Pressing through the floor the whole time. Hiding the ears, slight switch, shift of the weight if we're moving. Good, team. Awesome, guys. 5 seconds all the way. And rest. Boom. Good. Okay. Breathe. Nice. Cool. So last little bit that we're going to run through. Same as last week. 2 options. We can either practice the donkey kicks to get ourselves up against the wall. And if we have those, and we can quite confidently kick ourselves up against the wall, that's cool. What we're going to focus on is literally the kick to handstand. So the idea here is that you've done heaps of holding with varying degrees of body weight on the box and on the floor. See there, yeah, falling over. But we're going to avoid chucking you upside down with your shoulders so fatigued, because all we see there is just a breakdown in positions, right? But what we're going to focus on is the control of kicking up to the handstand. So if we have the wall, okay, and we can get ourselves up into the handstand, your job is to kick up and try and as lightly as possible have your heels touch the wall, okay? So the idea is you kick up, very lightly touch the walls with your heels, and then come back down off of the wall again. You can hold for a second or two if you want to, and then kick back down again. But the idea, again, is not on the hold. It's the kicking up into those strong positions, and that's what's going to allow you to lightly tap the wall instead of kicking up with your core switched off, and then that extension in the back, and then our heels smash off of the wall and either send us the wrong way or send this jolt from your heel all the way down into your neck, right? It's not great. So the idea is super controlled as much as you possibly can. You're going to play about with how far away you're going to pop your hands from the wall. Regardless, we're still looking for that pressing through the whole time and then squeezing the rib cage down as tight as possible. So we can start either hands on the floor to begin with and then kick up, or we can start by standing tall. But regardless, I want to see your hands come from a closed position, so down here, to then into that open shoulder position. Okay, so if I just show you, it makes more sense. Arms are by my side. I'm going to spot where they're going to go. Out in front, I kick up, and I squeeze as tight as possible, and then come back down again. So the idea again, I'm going to kick up, lightly tap the wall, come back down again, try to kick your bed. But the idea is that you're in control the whole way. So if you imagine that the wall is not there, and we are someone who kicks up with all hell fury and then smashes against the wall, that's fine, the wall's there. But if we're trying to develop control in those positions, the wall's not always going to be there, right? And you're going to flip over the other side. Now, if we struggle to kick up, that's fine. We're just going to spend this as an opportunity to get used to trying to shift ourselves from standing upright to inverted and then back down again, right? The goal there would be, regardless, as soon as your hands hit the floor, you're pressing through real aggressively. We're opening those shoulders, abs are tight, and that's regardless of how high our hips and our feet come above our shoulders, right? And that height will just gradually increase the whole time. Your main takeaway is that the arms stay straight and active, and the core stays as tight as possible, right? So the idea is you're going to do 3 sets of 10, okay? 3 sets of 10 kick up against the wall with a minute rest. If we're all at slightly different timings, that's cool. I'll try and keep the rate as best I can. But the whole time there is, now we're adding a bit more dynamic movement into those static positions that we've all just been working on, right? Make sense?
Yeah, so would you rather see us from the side then, or from?
Yeah, if you can. If you can. If not, it's fine. I'll be able to see the main kind of takeaways. Cool.
Oh no, where'd you go? There you are.
Awesome, team. All control. Tap the wall slightly. Come back down again. You'll know instantly the difference between the good one and the bad one. Cool, guys. So if we are ready, if you've started, that's cool. But if you want to start with me, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good, guys. Nice and controlled. As soon as those feet hit the floor, hands hit the floor, sorry, you're pressing through the shoulder as aggressively as you can, and the abs are switched on as tight as possible. Now let's play about with where your hands are. If we take our hands slightly closer to the wall, or if we're not using the wall, slightly closer to our feet, play about with where we're at with that. What affects your kick up? Does it send more power? Does it send less power? Good, Tony. Good, I'm ready. Strong. Good. 10 reps. Pressing through the floor the whole time. Strong, Jen. So if we're at the wall, all we want hitting the wall is our heels. If our bum's touching the wall, we're maybe a little too close with our hands, or we're failing to engage our core instantly, and it's more of a in a handstand, then we engage the core. Much better, Jen. There you go.
Didn't even touch the wall.
Good team. Keep chipping away. Beautiful. Cool. Strong, Jen. Well done.
And we're just touching and coming off, yes?
Yeah, touching the wall as lightly as possible, which may affect the speed of your kicking up, if that makes sense. So for you to touch the wall lightly, it might mean you have to go up in slow motion per se, which means you're in much more control of the movement. Yeah. So the idea is that we don't just flick up as aggressively as we can.
Sure.
Good, Jill. You got it. As we kick up, let's tuck that chin under slightly. Okay, try not to extend the neck. Tuck the chin in slightly. There we go. It's a little bit higher. Good. Nice. Good. Have trust in yourself. Abs tight. Bum squeezed. Press through the floor the whole time. Good. Jean-Marie, this time, as soon as you kick up, I want you squeezing those abs as aggressively as you can.
Okay.
Strong, Tony. Real good. There you go. Much better. Nice. Jen, how are those feeling? Those look real good.
Yeah, at one point I was far too close to the wall and just smacked off it. But see, when you get it, it feels really good. Like when you feel like you do eventually, like at some points, like you just feel like you're kind of floating and you're like, right, I've got this. I still feel a little bit like I'm not getting the connection straight into the shape, like straight away. I feel like I'm kind of going down and then I'm like, oh, get into it.
That's fine, because at least now you know, oh, wait a minute, this is slightly out, you know what to fix. But the more we spend in those positions and then moving into those positions, that'll come. Yeah.
Cool.
You got it. So, good. Nice. Good, much better. Nice. Arms are tight, well done.
Oh, bugger.
So Jill, have you got both of your feet side by side? I can't really see from where the camera is. What I want to see is when you start, try and avoid being here, because it's real hard to gain momentum and get yourself up. Try and start in almost like a lunge position here. So like race start. there's the standing foot here is going to be the one I'm going to boost off of, and this is the one that's going to lead the way up into the wall. If we start here, it's real hard to try and get out of that position. Okay, so start almost like a sprinter race start and see if that helps you a little bit. Good. There we go. Now we're getting higher. Just gotta have a bit of confidence. Press through the floor the whole time. Good. Strong, Tony. Well done. Really good. Nice, Anne-Marie.
It's amazing, isn't it? Number of times I've been doing handstand push-ups, finding the pressure on my back and knowing that I couldn't get my head through the window, and how was I going to get there?
Yeah.
And I can feel I'm getting the head through the window without.
It's all just slight like changing position. So if you have obviously your body will do everything it can to protect the spine, right? So if you're kicked upside down and all that weight suddenly going through your lower back, and then you're asking your body to try and then shift even further to bring your head through the window like we talk about, that slight, like your body's going to jam up and be like, there's no way that's going to happen. All those shear forces that we're talking about on the spine, you're trying to increase those, and your body, its main job is to shut that down, and you get jammed up and you're like, oh wait a minute, I can't do that. But a slight fix there could have just been, okay, what's my midline doing? Wait a minute, if I protect everything first by squeezing my ribcage down, oh, hold on, now I can get through that window a little bit more because my body's no longer fighting against me, right? So anything we do, if you look at ideally we look at the full movement first, the movement mechanics, right? Cool, this is slightly out. Second thing we might look at is, right, wait, what's the trunk doing, or your midline? What's that protective part of your body doing to protect your spine? If that's slightly out, everything else is going to have a harder time to try and get in those positions, right?
Yeah.
So guys, play a bit longer with this. We'll go maybe another minute if you need it. And then if we are done, if you have any questions, give me a shout. So Jill, those ones were way better, having that lunge set up, much better. We just gotta just keep practicing it. The more we get used to it, the more your body you'll stop kind of like freaking out and tensing up as soon as your feet leave the floor. It happens to everyone. Just the more we get into it, the more it's more familiar, right? And then it becomes way easier, and you'll get higher and higher and higher. Well done, good. Nice, Jen. See you later, Jeff. Have a good night. Smooth, Tony. There you go. Beautiful. Nice, Judy. There we go, Jen. Nice. Long, Greg. There you go. Nice. Okay, Maria, on this next one, let's start with your shoulders closed. So the idea is that we'd start here. So if this is my shoulder closed, the easy way to think about it is if you can see my armpit, my shoulder is open. If you can't, my shoulder is closed, right? So I want you to start with your shoulders closed. And then as you come down and step, then you open up, and then we end up. So if we go from open up here and then think, right, cool, I'm going to go into my handstand. We go from an open shoulder position into a closed shoulder position, and that's going to send your feet the wrong way, right? So let's start with the shoulders closed. And then as I go into my handstand, I open them up into that position, as opposed to opening up at the top and then trying to kick up, and then that sends the force the completely wrong way, and it's much harder to engage that core. Okay. Nice, Tony. There you go. Way more power in that one.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
I know why gymnasts wear leotards. It's so annoying, literally, after every rep. Like,
Fly all over the place. 14. Cool. Cool, guys. If you're still going, chip away. If you have any questions for me, give me a shout.
how often should we try and get upside down?
As
often as we need. What I've been trying to do, like the warm up you were doing, like the turtles and stuff. Anytime like handstand push-up type stuff's in the WOD.
Yeah, even like you can use that sort of stuff when there's an overhead dumbbell barbell movement in a workout as well. Because ideally, the same forces that you're fighting against there are the same as when you put a barbell over your head, right? It's the exact same. You're trying to fight against whatever way that force is pressing you, and the way your body wants to work is in the exact same. At no point when you put a bar over your head that I want to see you. Obviously, we're maybe not going to be here if we don't have the shoulder mobility, but we definitely don't want to see this. Because again, same as when you're upside down, your lower back's going to take all that weight. And we know that when we send crazy weights over our head, the last thing we want to do is switch off our core and then our lower back explodes. So anytime you think, right, I've got thrusters or clean and jerk or whatever it is, cool, use those to open up, use those drills to open up the shoulders, and you'll find eventually that those overhead barbell positions start to become a little bit more comfortable, a lot more stable as well. And then next week we'll talk about a bit more on external, internal rotation when we have the handstand, or the bar upside down, bar over your head, depending on it. See what happens. But yeah, just different forces. And I might even bring a little diagram. I'll show you a little props. Show you, right?
You spoil us.
Cool. Awesome, guys. So if you have any questions, fire away. If not, you're free to get on with the rest of your night.
Amazed how much easier that becomes.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, feeling stronger.
Yeah,
No
simple
more
fixes.
now, so good.
Yeah, that's it. Like once the mobility and flexibility in those positions, and sometimes it's just the awareness of where you need to be as well. Like a lot of us we have the strength and the sort of body control to be in these positions. We just don't know where we should be and how to get it, right? So the more the awareness kind of improves as well, then it all folds into one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's great. Brilliant. Upside down.
Fabulous.